Dear family, it's your cousin P. So black and so beautiful, so brown and so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. I pray all is well out there. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve, and thee alone do we seek help. Oh Allah, God is on the right path. The path upon those who have bestowed favors, not upon those whose wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray. For surely praise and magnify. Amen. How y'all feeling out there, man? This is day 2 of Ramadan. Day 2 of Ramadan. As I stated that I will come every morning or to express to you what the days feel like, what my body is going through. And so I finished off last night eating, breaking my fast about 8:30. It got darker a little early for some reason. Maybe I'm just not looking at the sky, but it seems as though it got darker earlier rather than later yesterday. But I broke fast about 8:30. I ate bean soup and a great salad. I got full pretty fast, man. Full pretty fast. I drank 2 bottles of water. I take my minerals that I take every night, which is I take sea moss, burdock root, bladderwhack, zinc, vitamin E, vitamin D, and 2K. I took all that last night after my meal. What I felt through the night was I was unable to sleep. I maybe slept about 2 hours, 3 hours at the most, off and on. Woke up this morning, I felt like I had lost weight. So I said, let me get on the scale before I get in the shower. I want to see. I'm normally walking around 202 with clothes off, maybe 205, 206 with clothes on. So I jumped on the scale and I did lose weight. I lost 4 pounds actually. I jumped on skin clean at 197 pounds from my original 201, 202, somewhere around there. That's without clothes on. Throughout this morning, I didn't feel sluggish. Felt a little energy, but I don't know if it's self-consciously saying, man, you need to rest. But I know when you don't consume a lot of food, you don't burn a lot of energy. However, around about 10 o'clock, oh man, I'm in a standstill and I'm trying to get to Stockton. Around about 2 o'clock, I started feeling a pain wrap around from my back to the side of my chest. And I was like, oh man, as soon as I bent over, I felt the pain. Like, man, what the heck is this? I said, am I dehydrated? So I said, let me just grind it out. It was painful. You know what I'm saying? It's still a little painful on the side. Not as much as it was this morning, but it was painful. And I believe it comes from maybe dehydration. When your body is detoxing itself from all the chemicals, preservatives, and adjectives that's in the food that's killing us, or whatever is in the body in the way. Anyway, the body starts to detox and you're going to start feeling withdrawals and pain. It's sort of like a body on drugs. Sometimes people who do drugs, heroin in particular, they need the drug to sustain their living normal life, or the body begins to ache when they come off of it. Well, it's the same way with fasting. You will find yourself having headaches. You will find yourself having pains and aches, and it's the body and the good cells and the old cells fight with one another, pulling and draining. And so you will start to feel that. And that's what I'm assuming that what I felt on my second day of fasting. Once I get off this line, I will listen to the second part of the Holy Quran while I'm driving. So I guess that's it for day 2 of Ramadan. Day 2 of Ramadan. I'm telling you what I felt. If you have any questions, feel free to, hit me in a DM or tag me down here when I come back on a live tonight. After I tell you, I'm vlogging in the mornings and at night. So that's the information you're going to get from Cousin P. Now, I may look a little tired, but I don't feel tired. Nevertheless, I got a lot of gray hair, though. It's coming in. So that's it, and that's all, dear family. Ramadan, day 2. I close with the divine greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I want to reopen with a subject title now that I was inspired by when I heard a family member of mine discuss the meaning of humility. Humility is an attribute of God Himself. Humility is looking at something humility has everything to do with being righteous, being fair, looking at a situation and making the right decision. When you lack humility, then you have no room for correction, is what was said. And I thought that was so amazing and so true, that when you have no humility, you would disrespect somebody's mother unconsciously. You are unconscious of disrespect. You unconscious of morals. You unconscious of values and principles, integrity. You so unconscious of the highest attributes of God, and it's because you lack humility. So you will say anything out your mouth, or anything that comes to mind, you will say out of your mouth in the form of hatred, acting other than self. And when you acting other than self, which is the righteousness of God, you're acting like Satan. And when you lack humility, you ain't even self-conscious of what you're actually saying or what you actually doing. So there's a roadblock in your spiritual connection when you lack humility. You have so much disregard for the human family when you lack humility. You have so much disregard for life, for respect. Everything goes out the window when you lack humility. Because in your mind, you think you right, and you can't. And in your mind, you don't feel necessary or strike that. In your mind, you feel as though correcting you is even wrong. You lack humility. And those that lack that are very dangerous. They're not conscious of cause and effect. They see it one way, one perspective. They're unable to reason, unable to understand the pain they afflict by their actions of not having humility. So, dear family, we have to grow into that attribute. When you can treat somebody how you want to be treated, that's humility. When you want for your brother and your sister what you want for yourself, when you always loud, when you always obnoxious, when you always displaced, which means out of place, when everything about you is always aggressive, always evil, always nonchalant, you lack humility. And the Holy Quran teaches this, and I want you to be aware of it, dear family, whether you get it from the Holy Quran or Bible. Those are both those are two books that are very spiritual and very powerful. But he says, know the difference between a chastisement and a person learning a lesson. See, a person learning a lesson is always going to stumble and fall and get back up. But when the person gets back up, the person does something different. A chastisement is something that stays the same and it never changes. Some of you that lack the respect for God, the love for God, you are under divine, you could take it or let it alone, divine chastisement, because nothing in your life goes right. Every time you get through one door, there's another block at the next door. And then you find yourself rolling back down the hill. You will never be successful under divine chastisement of God. Under divine chastisement of God, when he has put your life in a down spiral reaction. A chastisement is you can't never succeed. Every time you get money, it's gone. Every time you get a car, you crash it. Every time you get good with somebody, you fail. It's because you don't have the Spirit of God in you. There's no humility in you. So I want to advise those who's going through that trial of pain and affliction constantly, and it feels like God won't give up. Pray. And this is what prayer of Ramadan is about. It's submitting your will to do the will of God. It's confessing your faults and your wrong and doing right. It's fasting out the poisons of unrighteousness. That's what Ramadan is about. So understand that we have to grow into these attributes of God, and we have to grow now because we don't have much time. You don't have much time if you're 40 or 50 years old. You don't have much time because the air is poison, the water is poison, the food is poison. You doing your body so much injustice that it's not going to give you justice. You're feeding it toxics. You're acting out in your mind so savagely. You're doing all these things that create a destruction and death. So your time is coming to an end if you don't correct. If you don't correct it or allow one to give you constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is showing you something that you don't see. That's why it's called construct, is to build. Somebody is pointing out something that you may build in a different way, because the way you building it is destroying the fabric of your friendships, the fabric of your relationships, the fabric of your life. It's not working. So when a person say, take me as I am, when a person say, this is who I am, you ain't even been to the moon yet. You don't even know how to farm. You don't even know how to build a car from scratch. You don't even know how they make money. You don't even know how it rains. You don't even know how the heart works. You don't know nothing. If I take you as you are a baby in God's world. That means that you don't want to develop or learn anything else in life. Take you as you are? No, it's room to grow. And for those who say, take me as I am, anything that stays the same eventually dies. So I want to make you very acquainted with God himself on this beautiful Ramadan month. Pray to God for guidance. Pray to God for humility. Pray to God for a different mindset, a different attitude, because none of that works in today's era. What was good yesterday ain't good today. You have to be very wise and very strategic on how you handle the human family and people in today's society, because people ain't going for a lot of what was good yesterday. People ain't respecting nothing. People ain't respecting you if you don't respect yourself. And it starts with your conduct and character and your representation of yourself. The humility in self. Grow up. And I'm going to ask Almighty God Allah to wing me away from those that are not in my best interest, that have me going backwards in my language, have me going backwards in my attitude, have me going backwards in my conduct and my character. Place me with like-minded people that love constructive criticism, that loves to talk civilized. Because most of you women and men talk like savages and uncivilized. Therefore, you don't get nothing across to one another, because you act like a savage, you talk like a savage, and you look like a savage in the eye of the person you talking to that talks civilized. God, wing me away from them people. They have no part on my growth and where I'm going. See, God is going to humble every knee shall bow. Ain't that what it say? Every knee shall bow in this time. So he going to humble your heart with pain and affliction. Like I told you in the last podcast, God is done with your broken promises. God, help me with this situation, and I promise I'm gonna do right, and you do the same thing. The scripture reveals that he's going to use Satan to whip you into submission. So he's going to use the devil himself, who he created, to whip you. And you know what your whooping is? Unable to get anything right. unable to get any monetary, unable to get your finances right, unable to get your mental right, unable to get your physical attributes right. He allowing you to wallow in your own vomit, overweight. He allowing you to wallow in your own vomit. Can't think past your nose. He allowing you to wallow in your own vomit, acting like a savage. So when people look at you, they don't even want to be around you. So he got you so alienated on an island by yourself because the people don't see the light of God in you or the reflection of God in you. So the question is, dear family, where can I find the reflection of God in you at? Where's God in you? Is it in the way you walk? Is it in the way you talk? That's the reflection of God. Is it the way you drink that drink? That's the reflection of God. The way you talk with a nasty mouth, is that the reflection of God in you? Where is the reflection of God in you that I may see it? Because I want to see God in you. Is it the way you club? Is it the way you act? Is it in your principles, morals, and values? Where is the reflection of God in you? Because I want to see what I'm dealing with. Because if you giving me nothing but a savage attitude, if you giving me nothing but a savage disposition, I don't see God in you. I see the devil in you. So people that have humility see the devil in you, but the people that have humility tolerate you for a protracted period of time and hoping that you get right. And if you don't get right, they gonna leave your ass in the dust. And there go a great situation that you thought was in your, there go a great situation or another good person leaving you in your life. Where's the God in you, brother? The God in you is pimping. That's the God in you. The God in you is gossiping. That's the God in you. Where's the reflection of God in you? Talking about that brother, talking about that, the sister, talking about that sister, all the gossiping and slandering, all the backbiting, and I want to, that's the reflection of God in you. That's why God can't use you, because you not had yet developed into what God intends for us to be. So I want to say to all of us, because what I say to you, dear family, I'm actually saying to myself, where's the God in you, Cousin P? Where is he? Is it the way I handle my children? Is it the way of my impatientness? I don't have no patience. That ain't God. Where's the God in you? Perish? Brother Bahir? Is that the God in you? When people deceive, when people manipulate, when people get half of the truth, is that the God in you? I want to see the reflection of God in us now. So I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to everybody that listens to this podcast. Last but not least, fasting we must do. Growing we must do. You don't even have an ultimatum anymore. God is done with your broken promises. Mine's too. God, that's what this podcast should be titled. God is done with your broken promises. He's done with you. Didn't it come a time when they said the book will be sealed? Didn't it come a time when they said the end of this world would happen? Didn't it come a time when God had to destroy the people of Sodom and Gomorrah? When you start to see anything or all things unbalanced and out of balance with the world, God is present. He's allowing it by his permission. So the worlds are clashing with wars and rumors of wars. God is active. He is dissatisfied with all of our behaviors. He's done playing with us. So he's going to afflict you. He's going to bring upon you pain and affliction. death and sorrow. I advise us all to strive to be upright. And I'm not perfect by a long shot. But hell, I am striving. You could take it or let it alone. May Allah bless you. Save this podcast. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. It's going to be on my Instagram channel and TikTok if they don't cut it off. May Allah bless all of you on this day 2 of Ramadan. I see y'all tonight. Peace.